Dear students, we are going to see Industrial Automations Unit number 2, where amplifier types is the topic today. In amplifier, input signal can either be a voltage signal, we can say voltage source, or a current signal, or we can say current source. As like input signal, we can have output from that amplifier that may be either a voltage source, voltage signal, or a current source, or we can say current signal. Therefore, there are four possible input-output combinations: V to V, voltage source input, voltage source output; I to I, current source input, current source output; V to I, voltage source input, current source output; and I to V, current source input, voltage source output. So based on the input and output relationship, the amplifier can be classified as V to V, voltage amplifier; I to I, current amplifier; V to I, transconductance amplifier; and I to V, transimpedance amplifier. So this is the equivalent circuit of an voltage amplifier. So this dark gray block is nothing but the operational amplifier's internal diagram. So in here, the voltage source Vs is the input and voltage source V0 is the output. The voltage source has Rs as a resistance, source resistance, and the output is measured across RL, that is a load resistance. The characteristic of this particular operational amplifier is Ri, input resistance, and Ro, output resistance. The possible implementation is shown over here, where Vs1, Vs2, these are the inputs, and finally we'll have output is equal to V0. So how it is voltage amplifier? So the amplifier whose voltage is proportional to the input voltage, output voltage is proportional to the input voltage, is called as voltage amplifier. The input signal is voltage source and the output of the amplifier is also a voltage source. Such an amplifier is also referred to be as voltage controlled voltage source, VCVS. So here is a voltage controlled voltage source, or we can say voltage amplifier. This amplifier is connected between a voltage source V and a load resistance RL. Rs is the source resistance, A is the voltage gain with load resistance RL disconnected. It is known as the open circuit voltage gain. R0 is the output resistance of the amplifier. The output voltage V0, it can be obtained by using voltage divider rule. So voltage divider rule in between R0, RL and AV0 into VI. So AV0 is the open circuit voltage gain of this amplifier. So the output voltage of a voltage amplifier can be obtained by using a voltage divider rule. We can say V0 equal to I0 into RL. I0 is the current that is flowing through in this circuit, in the loop. So how we are going to calculate a current I0 according to Ohm's law? It is equal to V divided by R. So what is V in here, or a voltage source in here? It is given by AV0 into VI. So we have AV0 into VI divided by total resistance R0 plus RL. These are a series resistance in the circuit. So total resistance is RL plus R0. So finally what we have, V0 is equal to AV0 VI into RL divided by RL plus R0. As like we have applied voltage divider rule at the output, we can have voltage divider rule at the input side, where Vs is the source, voltage source. We can find out Vi, that is the input voltage to this amplifier. So Vi is equal to Ri, that is measured across Ri, divided by total resistance Rs plus Ri into the voltage source Vs. So now we have Vi, we can put the value of Vi over here and then we can find out the voltage output Vo. If you have to find out the gain of the amplifier, we need to substitute Vi into the effective voltage gain AV's formula. So what is AV's formula? Effective voltage gain is given by the output voltage V0 divided by the input voltage, that is Vs. So we have the value of Vs that is inside a Vi. So that's why we can do some slight modification, multiply and divide by Vi to this effective voltage gain formula. V0 divided by Vi into Vi divided by Vs. So is equal to Vo, it contains a Vi. So this Vi and the denominators Vi will get cancelled. In next case, the Vi's formula contains Vs and the denominator Vs, it will get cancelled. So what it will remain, AV0 RL divided by RL plus R0, and in other it becomes Ri divided by Ri plus Rs. Combinedly it becomes AV0 Ri RL divided by Ri plus Rs in bracket RL plus R0. So if we take the Ri and RL in the denominator side, it will be in the denominator's denominator. If we take the common outside from this particular equation, we can have the other option to take common outside from this equation, and it will be get cancelled to this Ri. So if we take Ri common, Ri will get cancelled. So we'll have 1 plus Rs upon Ri. If we take RL outside as a common, 1 plus R0 divided by RL will be inside, and this RL in the numerator, it will cancel with the common that is taken out from this bracket. So finally what we have, AV0 divided by 1 plus Rs divided by Ri, 1 plus R0 divided by RL. So we can say that we should have amplifier, it should give us a voltage gain exactly, or we can say approximately equal to AVO, open circuit voltage gain. So when it will be possible, when the numerator side is equal to 1. So how it equal to 1? So for that purpose, this Rs means the product of Rs upon Ri, it should be equal to 0, and this R0 upon RL, this should be equal to 0. So then and then only 1 plus 0 into 1 plus 0, it becomes a 1. Then the output voltage AV, the gain of the effective gain of the circuit will be AV0, that is approximately the open circuit voltage gain. So for that purpose, here the Ri is the input resistor of this amplifier as an input characteristic, and R0 is the output characteristic. So that Ri should be equal to approximately equal to infinity, means it should be very large. Then this Rs upon Ri factor will be very small. Again R0 should be 0, so that the effective value of R0 upon RL will be 0. Then we'll have output equal to AV0. So the source resistance Rs and output resistance R0, that will be reduced the effective voltage gain. So we should design voltage amplifier in such a way that the R, we can say from this particular equation, the Rs should be very less than Ri, and R0 should be very less than RL. So in ideal cases, what we can have, that the R0 should be equal to 0 and Ri should be equal to infinity. Then there will be no reduction in the voltage gain. So we can have V0 is equal to AV0 into Vs. So this is the way the voltage amplifier is. Similar in case of current amplifier, the current will be the input and the current will be the output. We can say current source as input and current source as output. This is also called as a current controlled current source, as the output of the current is controlled by the input current source. So we can say it as a current controlled current source. It has AIS, that is called a short circuit current gain, or we can say simply the current gain. It will be there when the circuit is shorted at the output, or we can say output terminals are shorted. Look at the circuit diagram over here, that is current amplifier, where the current Is is the input, Rs is in the shunt with the current source, I is the current that is flowing into this current amplifier, I0 will be the current that is flowing out of this amplifier. So we can have current source as input and current source as output. If we place that in equivalent circuit, what we'll have, the Is is the current source, Rs is the shunt resistance with Is, Ri is the input current to the operational amplifier, R0 is the output current that is also in shunt with this RL, and it will finally have I0. So as like we have solved for the voltage amplifier, we can solve for the current amplifier, where AIS is the short circuited current gain. So to find out the short circuited current gain should be approximately equal to the effective gain. what we should do, we should have to calculate the output current. So the output current of the amplifier can be obtained by using the current divider rule, where we can have the current divider rule applies in the circuit. So AIS into II is the current source into R0 divided by R0 plus RL. So why the R0 comes first, not RL? In case of current voltage divider rule, RL come first. In case of current divider rule, the other resistance come first divided by total resistance. So R0 divided by R0 plus RL will be the I0. In case of a input current II, it is given like RS divided by RS plus RI into IS. So as like voltage amplifier effective gain AI can be calculated for the current amplifier, which is nothing but the ratio of output current divided by input current, I0 up to IS. So as IS, this is available in the equation of II, so we can have some modification. II is multiplied and divided to this circuit, it becomes I0 upon II into II upon IS. So in I0 there is II term, so II term get cancels with each other, so we'll have AIS R0 divided by R0 plus RL, and in this case IS is there, so IS and IS will get cancelled, we'll have RS upon RS plus RI. So finally we'll have AIS into RS into R0 divided by RS plus RI, R0 plus RL. So if we have to cancel out RS, we have to take RS from the denominator, that is common, so we'll have 1 plus RI upon RS. Inside bracket, if we take R0 common, 1 plus RL upon R0. So in this case, now the R0 is in the denominator and Ri in the numerator. So in this case, the Ri should be equal to 0 and R0 should be equal to infinity to have the current gain equal to AIS. So what we can say from this particular current amplifier is that Ri should be very less than Rs and R0 should be very greater than RL. Means R0 should be equal to infinity and Ri should be equal to 0. So we can say the current will be equal to AIS into IS. Similarly, if we need to have voltage as input source and current source as the output, we can have a transconductance amplifier. So you can see here the voltage source from the voltage amplifier, RS is the source resistance as like voltage amplifier's input, and this will be the like current amplifier's output. Only change is there where the output socket contains the amplifier's equivalent diagram contain GMS. There is a transconductance, short circuited transconductance. If we solve it again, this is the theoretical part. If we solve it again for applying current divider rule at the output and voltage divider rule at the input, we can have I0 is equal to what it will be? It will be GMS into VI R0 divided by R0 plus RL according to the current divider rule, as I have said to you earlier. And if you have to calculate the input voltage VI, it will be equal to VI equal to RI divided by RI plus RS into VS as like in the voltage amplifier. So finally, if we take the effective transconductance gain Gm, it should be equal to I0 upon Vs. So as like the Vs is available in the Vi, so we can have I0 divided by Vi into Vi divided by Vs. So Vi will get cancelled and Vs will get cancelled. Finally, we'll have GMS R0 Ri divided by R0 plus RL into Ri plus Rs. So if we take R0 common from this particular bracket, R0 will get cancelled. We'll have 1 plus RL upon R0, 1 plus RS upon Ri when we take Ri common. So here R0 is in the numerator, denominator, and Ri is also in the denominator. So to have this particular values equal to 0, R0 and Ri, they both should be equal to infinity. Then and then only the transconductance, effective transconductance gain will be equal to short circuited transconductance gain. So this is the transconductance amplifier where the current I0 equal to GMS into Vs whenever their R0 and Ri both are infinite. In case of trans impedance where current source as the input and the voltage source as the output, current source Is shunt with resistance Rs, I is the current flowing through this socket. ZMO is the next parameter, which is nothing but open circuit trans impedance gain. II, that will be the current input, will be multiplied to it. R0 is the output resistance, RL, where the voltage is measured across this RL is a V0. So if we solve the transimpedance formula for the effective transimpedance gain, we can have the output voltage V0, and that is related to II. So it is given by according to the voltage divider rule, ZMO II into RL divided by R0 plus RL. And if we solve it for the input current, it will be RS divided by RS plus RI into IS as the what we can say is the current divider rule. So finally, if we take the effective transimpedance gain, that is called Zm, is equal to V0 upon Is. So Is contains the Is is contained in the equation of II. So we can have V0 upon II is equal to into multiply by II divided by Is. So here II is there, so II will get cancelled and Is is also get cancelled. We'll have ZMO, that is the open circuit, what we call trans impedance gain, RL into RS divided by RL plus R0 RS plus RI. So we can have 1 plus R0 upon RL, as RL will get cancelled from numerator by taking common RL from this particular bracket, and 1 plus RI upon RS. So what will happen? The RS will get cancelled as we are taking RS common from this bracket, and finally we'll have equation of the transimpedance effective gain. ZMO divided by 1 plus R0 upon RL, 1 plus RI upon RS. So you can see from R0 and RI both in the denominator's numerator. So we can say if we have to make this particular equation equal to 1, R0 upon RL should be equal to 0 and RI upon RS should be equal to 0. Means R0 and RI, they both should be equal to 0. So to have transimpedance amplifier effective gain, it should not reduced, as like it should be equal to ZMO. So V0 is equal to ZMO into IS if and only if Ri and Ro, they both are equal to 0. So this is from the transconductance and transimpedance amplifier by taking the help of voltage and current amplifier. Thank you.